Well, I didn't expect to find a bunch of retro stuff right away, but not gonna lie, this is a nice way to start the morning. Oh man, they're all over the place here.
Yeah, I try to kind of
Clean it out. So everything is $2 a piece for the games?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, you've got a few there.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're asking on them?
Yeah, he said he wanted 25.
So Jungle Book for the Game Gear. Sonic 2 for the Game Gear. Here you go. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, definitely need a bag for all this stuff. This is crazy. There's some collector's editions in here. Obviously, Donkey Kong for 64. What is up, friends, and welcome back to the Game Room for episode 82 of Thrifting Throwdown, the show where you and I hit the road getting down and dirty on our never-ending quest to cram these shelves with as many cheap video games as we can find.
And here he is, this week's Noble Nobody.
Last episode, we really cleaned up at Hometown Market, walking away with 40 brand new games for the collection, bringing our total to 2,711 games in this thrifted video game collection. Wow. That's right, we are less than 300 games away from hitting 3,000 games in this massive thrifted game collection. It's going to be a huge milestone, and I am so hyped for that, and I hope you are as well. And today I've got a lot of fun planned for us because I have a bunch of different yard sales picked out. So fingers crossed we're gonna have some luck and score a whole bunch of awesome new games at the yard sales today. And remember, no matter what we find, you're always gonna know what my best thrifts of the day were at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around until the very end for that, and you'll know exactly what my best pickups were from today's thrift hunting journey. Okay. But I think that's about enough talk for now. It is time for some thrift hunting action. So lace up your boots, let's hit the road because it's time for a Thrifting Throwdown. Oh yeah! Target acquired. Well, I didn't expect to find a bunch of retro stuff right away, but not gonna lie, this is a nice way to start the morning. Okay. Looks like they've got some totes of some random stuff here. We've got some accessories, some cables. I see a Sega Genesis. Oh, that's cool. NES cleaning kit in the box. Definitely interested in that. Honestly, there's just so much here. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Wow! There's like pieces and parts and random miscellaneous stuff. There's honestly a lot to look at. Are you the man to ask about pricing?
Yeah.
What are you doing on the Genesis stuff?
I think probably 15 for that one. Home Alone, probably 20 or 18.
Had you already looked up the Game Gear?
Yeah, that's actually, we just put batteries in it and it wasn't turning on.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a bummer. What's up, Dabomaniacs? LDab here, dropping in to drop some knowledge on you about these Game Gear consoles. Oh. You see, it is extremely uncommon to find a Game Gear out in the wild that is actually working because there is a known defect with the Game Gear consoles. You see, way back when the Game Gears were produced, they were actually put together with a really low quality set of capacitors. And after 20 years, these capacitors have almost exclusively failed. You know, occasionally you will see a Game Gear that does have some juice and some life left to it, but in many scenarios they will have failed and you will be unable to turn on the handheld. The good news though, if you're handy and capable with electronics, you can actually replace the capacitors on these and get them back to working order again. So really, if you find a Game Gear out in the wild, it is up to you if you think it's worth the risk or not. But just because you find a Game Gear that doesn't power on does not mean it is not salvageable. So there's your quick tip, your little bit of knowledge from LDab. But I don't want to delay the game hunt any longer, so let's get back to the action. Oh yeah. Dang.
Yeah.
You don't see them too often, so it's, you know, tragic
I mean, that
to hear.
one, I got it at Goodwill or whatever, and
Oh, really?
it looks in pretty good condition. So,
Yeah.
But I got it years ago. I can't remember if I tested it or not, but just now we tested it and it wasn't. So,
That's a bummer.
yeah. probably $3 for that.
I will definitely grab that. So
Okay.
what would you do for the busted Game Gear then?
This it's actually.
I'm gonna start a pile here, and then you can just tell me what the pile's gonna be.
All right, broken Game Gear.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Are these priced by yellow tags or what?
No, they're all individually priced, so anywhere from like $2 to $100. Yeah, just ask.
A few moments later.
You waiting for him too?
Are you gonna keep that?
Yeah, I did.
The artist that
Gotcha. Is that your pile sitting there? Nice.
Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?
Are you ready?
We have to like figure out the number. But yeah.
Let me see.
So this was empty, but I can find a disc for it.
Yeah.
Said 3 on that. That one's missing the cover. That's not working.
Yeah. Clue, $4.
leather's under there.
Um,
You never know what you're gonna get.
said 15 for this. The Game Gear.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get it working. If I can't get it working, I'll still look it on the shelf either way. So.
Yeah. Probably 35
Would you say 30 for the pile?
for the pile.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, you were saying 35 for the
Oh,
Game Gear.
yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, maybe 30 is the cheapest I'll go on it.
So what would you do for the whole pile then? I have to hear the total number.
Let me see. $50.
If you do 45, I'll take it. I have to feel like I'm getting a deal.
Yeah. Let me
$5
think.
between friends.
Uh,
The line's queuing up behind me.
yeah.
You're really on the fence about that $5?
I am, because it's like I already know I'm listing it. Like my prices
Yeah.
are already less than the profit I would make on eBay,
Yeah.
and then I'm already like
saving the
to give you
shipping
a price
fees,
a
though.
little. Well, that's even for
Yeah.
after all that. I have like the prices all here. So
Well, I'm
it's
gonna
like,
make your day, and I will give you the full 50.
seems good.
Man, that guy's a pain in the ass.
All right, friends, setting up shop here at this little baseball field. Found a nice little table under this gazebo. Nice and echoey for us for this quick update. But seriously, I had to talk about this stuff right away. I am so hyped by what I picked up here, but I'm also like completely taken aback by what I found there. Because as you saw, I got there so early. I was literally one of the first people there, and somehow there was still a bunch of people there because this guy had some decent stuff. And as you saw, wow, a Game Gear. This is literally the first Game Gear I've ever seen out at a yard sale. You just do not see Game Gears in my area. And this thing is super clean looking. Like the condition on this is so good. So yeah, this thing is super clean, with the one caveat being it does not power on when I turn it on. Now I know that's a big caveat, and considering I paid about $30 for this, which is just about what a Game Gear goes for in parts, I'm really taking a bit of a gamble there. But honestly, I did some searching online. It looks like there are some replaceable parts in here that sometimes go bad, so I'm honestly hoping that I can get this thing fixed up and in working order. Perfect. So that's gonna be a nice little fun project for me, but still, I couldn't say no to this. I saw this, it looks so good, and even if I can't get it working, it's still gonna look pretty good on the shelf, so definitely had to pull the trigger on that. But seriously, that's not all. Look at this. Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure. What a gem. Oh, this thing is in great condition. I am so hyped to be adding this. The cover art looks so cool.
Konami has 2 very cool Tiny Toon Adventures games for Sega Genesis and Super NES.
The animation gives you a
Real cartoon feel. On Super NES, play Buster Bust Loose, Spin Kick and Mad Dash through 11 toony levels. Sound great? On Sega Genesis, play Buster's Hidden Treasure, an island adventure
to find the fortune before
Montana Max.
play a tune on Sega Genesis or Super NES.
What are you looking at? Get your own games.
Honestly, super psyched about this one, but there's even more in here. Like seriously, let's pull out some of this stuff here. Got a nice little Super Mario Brothers Wii cardboard sleeved edition, which will go perfectly with my console because I believe this was missing from the console. Had to grab Dracula the Last Sanctuary, even though it's missing the cover art. I don't have this, and I have a feeling this one's worth a little bit of money because it is a horror title. And then cardboard box Clue for the Sega Genesis, you know, another Sega Genesis title going into my collection. I couldn't say no. And that was sort of the thing. He had so much cool stuff there. I was looking and looking and looking, and you know, the other people there were grabbing and grabbing, and I just had to grab what I could get, but I still think I ended up with some really awesome stuff.
This in particular is one of those things that when he said it was like $4 or whatever he said, I couldn't believe it because yeah, not in the greatest condition. It's got some tape on it. It's a little bit dinged up, but this thing is so retro and nostalgic. This is straight out of the late 80s. So yeah, how do you think I did? Even though I paid what, 40 bucks, 30 bucks? I really can't even remember. I still think I ended up with a pretty decent pile of stuff here, but I'm really curious what you think. Would you have picked up this Game Gear for that price? Would you be taking the risk on this, or am I absolutely crazy? And was there other stuff there that you would have picked up? Seriously, let me know in the comments down below because it helps me know what to look for next time. It helps me know what to grab. And I also just love chatting with you in the comments. So definitely drop me something down below. Okay. But the day is just getting started. We need to hit the road, see what else we can find, and see if we can have even more game scores today. So let's not waste another second. Let's hit the road. Oh yeah! Morning. Good. What are you asking on the box of games here?
There's all kinds of bunch of boosters.
Oh yeah, I see there's all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah. There's a couple of big things in there. I'm gonna take a look. I feel like 80 in the box. There's over 100 in there.
80 on the box, and what are you doing individually if I pick a few? $2 a piece? Yeah, I'll grab a few of these. Okay, good to know, thank you. Oh man, they're all over the place here.
Yeah, trying to kind of clean it together.
Cleaning out. So everything is $2 a piece for the games?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, I like the sound of that. Caesar's Palace, Ken Griffey Jr., Family Feud. Yeah, there's definitely some stuff in here that I need in the collection. I think a lot of these 64 ones and Super Nintendo ones are a little rough looking and they're common. Like, I know I have this, I know I have this, pretty sure I have this, so I think I'm gonna skip the rest of those, even though it's probably killing some people that they'll leave some 64 stuff behind.
Oh, that pisses me off. That pisses me right off.
Pet horses. I'm gonna make a little pile here. God, I should grab that just for the case. Oh wow, and you're still bringing out more. Well, you're gonna keep me busy for a few minutes. Oh, that's cool. Oh my gosh, and the box keeps going. Wow. Wow, Pimp My Ride? Okay, I guess we're getting Pimp My Ride. Well, can't leave a Shrek game behind. I got all steamed up digging through all the stuff. But I did find a pile here, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 it looks like. This pile is I'm leaving behind, but...
I do 20.
20 for all of it? Oh man, I love that deal. Thank you. Here you go. Thank you very much. Yeah.
In the bag?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, definitely need a bag for all this stuff. This is crazy. There's some collector's editions in here. Obviously, Donkey Kong for 64. Ooh, the thing is jacked. And a television game. Some cool stuff. Thank you. All right, friends, found us a nice little table here at the football field because we just scored a touchdown of the game hall. Seriously, there is some quality and hecka quantity in this bag. Some stuff that I haven't seen before. We got some collector's edition steel books. Nice mix of consoles here, PS3, Wii U, some really awesome PlayStation 1 titles. We've even got a Sega Dreamcast web browser.
Wow.
What the heck? Now you know what I mean when I say that this thrift haul was a touchdown, because we have seen stuff that we do not see out in the wild that often. Pimp My Ride, Table Tennis, Devil May Cry, some games that I've never seen thrifting, like Legends of WrestleMania. I don't think this game is very good if I remember correctly, but it's also one that I definitely don't have. Now, there were some downsides. I grabbed this Donkey Kong before I realized that the inside was absolutely toasted. There's no way this thing is gonna play. But ultimately, I paid $1 each for this stuff, so even if there's 1 or 2 duds in here, I seriously can't complain. As you see, we even got a boxed Intellivision game. Now, it does have some marker on it. I'm gonna try to get that off, obviously, but you know, I can't leave behind a $1 Intellivision game. So that's one more Intellivision for the collection. Going nicely with yet another collector's edition here for the Gears of War limited edition. Man, this thing is heavy. American Choppers, Army Men World at War. What more do you want from a game haul? A huge bag of games, 20 bucks. Cannot complain about that in the slightest. So I'm really curious, what would you have grabbed there that I left behind if you saw anything you liked? What do you think about the stuff that I did pick up? Anything here really catch your eye? Anything you need for the collection? How do you feel about that Dreamcast web browser? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this touchdown of a game score. But that is not nearly enough. Even though we've got 20-something games here, I feel like I could go for even more games. So stay tuned, get comfortable, because I'm hitting the road once again, and we're gonna see what else we can find. Oh yeah. Are you still setting up? Are you still setting up? Or am I? Oh, I can look around? Okay, thank you. Do you know if you guys have any video games floating around at all? Oh, did I walk right by?
The Sega games, mine.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah, you've got a few there.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're asking on them?
Yeah, he said he wanted 25 for all of them.
So Jungle Book for the Game Gear. Sonic 2 for the Game Gear. Lion King for the Game Gear. NFL 95. And the NBA Jam. That's interesting. Would you take 20 for them? Would you take 20 for them?
25.
Yeah, I'm asking, would you take 20?
Give me 22. Okay.
22? Okay, let me check my wallet. Do you have change the break at 10? Otherwise, I've got 21.
I'm fine. I have to have change.
I'll take the one back. I
Okay,
need not
yeah.
eight ones. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's cool. I mean, I never really see Game Gear stuff, so that's a first for me. All right, friends, another yard sale, another awesome game score. As you can see, sun's going down, but we are still scoring games. This time, a nice pile of Game Gear games.
They may not look like much, and they sure don't taste like much, but they're ours.
You know, the funny thing about this, I never see Game Gear stuff, so of course I had to buy it. My favorite thing about yard sales is picking up random things that I do not see very often. And when it comes to random, when it comes to not seeing things very often, Game Gear is near the top of that list. Obviously, I scored that Game Gear. That thing was a nice find, even if I can't get it to work. I mean, that's still TBD, but being able to find 5 Game Gear games out in the wild, being able to get them for a decent price as well, that is what Thrifting Throwdown is all about.
This show brought a tear to my eye.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sitting on a tack.
Now, in terms of selection, we are talking some of the more common stuff here, like an NFL game. That's not going to get anybody too excited. Some of these are $10 to $15 games, so in total, we're probably looking at $40 to $50 worth of Game Gear games here. But it is still exciting because these are the first Game Gear games going into my collection, so you know I love that. But like I said, the sun's going down. This day of thrifting is coming to an end, so it is time to hit the road once more, go home, and take a look at our total haul from today. So hang tight, Dabomaniacs. See you in a minute. Oh yeah! All right, friends, back in the game room once again, this time wrapping up another awesome yard sale haul. We have got an awesome pile of retro games from a bunch of different consoles. We are looking at Genesis stuff. We've got Intellivision games in the box. We've got Game Gear stuff. We really ran the gauntlet today and ended up with a whole bunch of different things and a whole bunch of really cool things in my opinion.
Oh my glob, these are gorgeous.
Some of the things I'm most excited about obviously are going to be the really retro stuff. The NES cleaning kit in the box. This thing is so interesting to me because it is just pure nostalgia. That awesome box art takes me straight back to the NES era, way back to the early 90s, late 80s, and I think it's going to be a perfect addition to the collection. I think this is going to look so good up on the shelf with the other NES goodness. So yeah, that cleaning kit surprisingly might be my favorite thing. I'm also pretty excited for some of these pickups like WCW Nitro. That was a game I played a lot growing up. And then in terms of value, I'm really excited to be picking up this PlayStation 1 game here, Dracula the Last Sanctuary. That's not one I've played before, but it looks like that one goes for some good money, so that was nice to find mixed in. And then I just remember we have this Dreamcast web browser as well. Kind of a little bit of a thrifting oddity, not a game, but a web browser accessory. Still kind of interesting in my opinion.
Okay.
Also need to mention these collector's edition sets. So we ended up with Gears of War 2 limited edition collector steelbook and Halo 3 limited edition collector steelbook. Pretty interesting pickups. I think they go for about 20 or 30 bucks, so you know I like getting those nice and cheap like I did today. And honestly, this entire game haul was a cheap game haul because we picked up a whole bunch of games for around $1 or $2 a piece. Seriously, most of these were $1, $2 games here. Even some of them that are worth good money, like WWE Legends of WrestleMania, which goes for about 15 bucks. We still picked that up on the cheap the way we like to do it.
We live. Rewrite. Redefine. WWE Legends of WrestleMania.
Now, my caveat to that, I did pay up a little bit on the Game Gear stuff. I think I paid $30 if I can remember on the Game Gear itself, and then 20 something for the pile of Game Gear games. Not terrible, it's about what they go for, a little bit less probably, but the real kicker for me, that Game Gear is TBD as to whether or not it's going to work. We are not sure yet if we're going to be able to get that Game Gear working, so it is a little bit of a gamble. Now, one of the reasons I took that gamble, you're going to see all my little handhelds up here on the shelf. A bunch of these were broken when I got them. I know specifically I fixed this 3DS, I fixed this one as well, so I have a little bit of history fixing these handhelds, so I'm kind of excited to try and get this Game Gear up and working, because if I did, then it was an absolute steal at that price. And from the little bit of research I did, it seems like they typically do have a few components that go bad internally, and that seems to be par for the course with these Game Gear handhelds. So we'll see if I can get that fixed or not. If not, I may even have to see if I can find someone to fix it for me. Either way, I've always wanted to own a Game Gear and never have before, so picking it up out at a garage sale is so awesome to me. Literally, I think back to when I first saw the Game Gear as a kid growing up, and I was like, wow, that thing is really interesting looking, and it has such a great display on it. It's so colorful and bright. I instantly wanted one and just never ended up getting one back in the day. I can still remember the first game I saw on it was Echo the Dolphin, so that's going to be one I need to add to the collection for when I get this Game Gear up and working.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
But yeah, like I said, great pile of games here. We had so much fun out there thrifting today at the yard sales. But I know what you really want to know at this point is where the collection stands as of today, where it stands after all of these retro gaming goodies go into the collection. And after today, we are just under 250 games away from 3,000 games in the collection.
Oh.
Retro games of all kinds, PlayStation, Xbox, NES, Super Nintendo, handheld consoles, GameCube, you name it, and I have added it to the collection over the dozens and dozens of episodes of Thrifting Throwdown. And today was no exception, adding a bunch of great retro games to the collection. And as always, I am thrilled that you were here for this game hunt, thrilled that you joined me on this game hunting journey by hitting that subscribe button and joining my tag team. And while you're hitting that subscribe, let me know that you enjoyed the video. Let me know that you enjoy game hunting. Let me know that you're excited about these pickups like the NES cleaning kit in that Game Gear by hitting that like button down below. And of course, extra important, drop me a comment because I am really curious what from this pile of games was your favorite pickup today. Is it one of those collector's editions? Is it that cleaning kit in the box? Or is it that Tiny Toon Buster's Hidden Treasure, which looks like a lot of fun? Either way, let me know down in the comments below. And if you really want to support this channel, if you want to be a true Dabomaniac, check me out on Patreon, support the channel directly, and help contribute to getting these videos out faster and adding more games to the collection. It's a great way to support the channel directly, so if you have a few bucks to throw my way, go ahead and consider checking out my Patreon. And as a reminder, we have our best thrift of the day coming up any moment, so make sure you stay tuned for that because you gotta see which one of these pickups is the best thrift of the day. But aside from that, I think that is a wrap on episode 82 of Thrifting Throwdown, closing in on episode 100 so dang quickly. But I had an absolute blast and hope you did too. So until next time, keep on thrifting. Oh yeah.
But I got it years ago. I can't remember if I tested it or not, but just now we tested it and it wasn't. So, yeah.